alcohol. Well, no, you were living on alcohol. You were not healthy.
No, I know.
So you weren't a healthy rate.
Sorry, I use that for, I need to figure something out for that.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay.
Okay, well, let's hope we look good.
How has it been since we talked the last time? I hope we look good. It's 8:45 on a Wednesday night. I think you always look good.
I got ready though.
You always look good. How were you? Okay, let's start here. We've recorded 2 episodes.
Yeah.
If you've missed them, go back and watch them. I've listened to the second episode, and as of this taping, it has not posted yet.
No.
But I listened to it driving over to your house tonight, and I was weeping. I was kind of upset about the part about the visit to the psych ward. But more importantly, I wondered how you felt after those 2 recordings. Did you sleep good that night?
I mean, I wouldn't say I lost sleep over it. I feel like I've processed so much of this stuff, like, over and over, from, groups to AA to just all kinds of different therapy in general. And so I think being able to talk about it again was kind of riveting, kind of shocking to the system, but I wasn't too, like, once we got it into editing, we started, making the short clips and doing all that, like, it wasn't as hard for me to watch. Some of them are, I haven't watched some of them that got cut into shorts because, it says, like, the title, and I haven't watched some of them, but the ones that I have watched, it's been okay.
So, because this is your channel, what do you want to? Is there anything in particular you want to talk about for this episode? And if not,
yeah, you go for it.
Are you sure? Is there anything that's really
Go
pressing for you that you feel like you want? You're like, oh, I really want to tell everybody about this moment.
No, I'm better when you ask me questions because I don't remember. It's not that I don't remember things. I do remember them pretty well, but when I'm thinking about them, it's like easier for me to tell the story.
So in one of the previous episodes, you said something that I picked up on after I watched it, and do you mind if I go back and ask you about it? You said I've been sober 2.5 years this time.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about
that.
The in and out of sober. And I really want to know about this because it seems as though when you are sober, I know you send family texts and stuff like that, which is super awesome. You're like, I'm 100 days. And we're like, yes. I'm 6 months. We're like, yes. And then if you went back into your addiction mode, then it's like you start the clock all over again.
Yeah.
So talk about in and out of soberness. Is that a word?
Maybe.
Being sober? Well, it is now. Soberness.
Yeah, no.
And what that feels like, what brings you back to the alcohol, to the bottle, and what gets you back on track to leaving it in your past.
I think, the first time I got sober, I told this story in the first and then second episode. First time I got sober, like, it really wasn't for me, and I could feel that. Like, I did it because I felt like everybody else wanted me to do it, and it was like I was so stuck, like, with my job that, hemmed up with drinking on the job, that I felt like the only way for me to, like, even explain myself to my family, my friends, the people in my life is to just, like, be like, yeah, I'm an alcoholic and I gotta go to rehab. And so I did outpatient, did not work, was drinking during it. It wasn't until that October that I finally, like, woke up one day and I was like, I can't do this anymore. And I asked my little sister if she could drive me to my dad's house, and that was a start of a 4-year-long sober journey for me. I mean, and so very quickly after I decided to get sober, it was within where some people go, to 30 rehabs. I was in an outpatient and then an inpatient in a matter of 6 months, and I stayed sober for 4 whole years. So, and I'm going on a podcast on Monday, which is what we're gonna actually talk about and I brought up to him yesterday, the number one thing that I realize isn't what, at least wasn't in 2017, and I don't think even now is pressed on enough, is the aftercare, and not just going to outpatient and partial partial hospitalization. It's not that. It's like the therapy, the psychiatrist visits, the like ongoing support groups, whatever that might be for you. Aftercare just wasn't pressed on enough, where it's like, okay, as long as you're up to date on your prescriptions, like, you're good. Like, no, you need to be going to the doctor every, like, 3 months, 6 months with a psychiatrist to make sure your meds are working. Like, you have to go to therapy every week. Like, there's these things that wasn't, like, as ingrained. They're like, oh, and now that I work in treatment, I realize that there's these plans you put together of get a therapist, call and make an appointment, like, call a psychiatrist, get an appointment. But it wasn't as ingrained in you as you need it to be. And I think those 4 years I stayed sober, I still wasn't, like, I obviously wasn't where I'm at now. And I felt like I was just flying by the seat of my pants and, like,
hanging on to staying sober.
Hanging on to, like, white knuckling it in a lot of ways. I think it was not that I wanted to go drink. I think it was just my mental health was so bad that after the 4 years, like, I finally felt like there was no other choice but to drink, you know.
Okay, can we just put it in reverse to the point where your younger sister, who's an adult when you called her?
Oh, yeah.
She was an adult by then?
She's 17.
She was 17, okay. So she shows up.
She didn't show up. I was with her.
You were with her.
Yeah.
You were with her. Okay, but she's there for you. She takes you to Dad's house.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is maybe a little inside baseball, but why? Because one of the other episodes said something about the time when Dad was contacted, and like that was probably not a good idea, but it turned out to be a good idea, right? But why did you think that going there, like, what take us inside your mind that you think that going there was going to set you on the path to recovery? And I wonder if this applies to other people who are in addiction.
And we're not going to edit this, but to keep it 100, my dad used to be an asshole, and I think I knew that if I was so desperate, I had taken depression pills the night before, drinking multiple, like, pint-sized bottles of vodka I had on me, like a bunch of them, and I drank, I don't know how much, but I took a bunch of those depression pills. I'm not saying that it was like a foolproof suicide plan, but I was definitely, like, thinking that that's what's gonna happen, like, for sure.
So did you feel like you could get the help you needed from Dad?
I just knew that as horrible as that experience was, going over to his house and having him...
He loves you.
Yeah, he does love
parents
me.
Love their kids. Yeah.
But, you know...
He does love you a lot.
He had choice words to say with me, and I just knew if I showed up there, like, there was no bullshit in it. Like, it was...
That's my point. I think it was the right choice.
That's what I'm saying, is he was so, like, he was an emotional, like, his emotions was angry. And so...
Well, frustration, I think, too. I mean,
Well, rightfully so.
I'm going to speak for him, but we went through this together. And
yeah, rightfully so.
And I've said in a previous episode, there came a point when I just, like, I cannot put one foot in front of the other and be there anymore. Like, not tonight.
I just think...
Not today.
Not to say you're easily manipulated, but I don't think your approach would have been, like, I think you'd have been like, oh my God, you know what I mean? Like, where Dad's like, yeah, get in the fucking car, we're leaving. Like, we're going to the hospital.
Yeah.
And so...
I love that you made that choice for yourself, because even though you knew, because you could have come, now
I could have waited
think,
for you to get home.
Yeah, and
then
been like,
there.
Mom, and I would have been like, oh, not
It would have
again.
been horrible.
And, oh, you'd have been like, Mom, and then I would have been like, oh, hug, group hug, and that's
I might have not ended up in
which
the
is
same
not
spot
the right
that
which
I
is-
needed to be in.
And eventually, I got to a different place, but I can see, but I love that you have said that, because I just wonder in addiction if it's like, oh, I'm gonna go seek help for the person I know is just gonna be like, oh, let's
That's what it is all the time.
Okay.
It was just, I think I was so, like, first of all, I remember it vivid as day. I remember parts of the day before, but then I remember waking up I was at your house with Katie, and I remember waking up in bed, and I felt the worst. It was like noon, and I felt the worst that I had ever felt in my entire life. Like, it wasn't the withdrawals, it was whatever I took mixed with alcohol just made me, I was surprised I was alive. Like, I was like, holy shit, what happened? And I just remember in that moment, I was so sick, and I was just like, I physically, emotionally, mentally, I can't do this anymore. Like, I'm so worn out. And what's so crazy about that is, like, you know, I talked to this guy about this yesterday, is like, that's how I felt the last time I got sober too, but not on that level. It was like this time the first time I was like, I feel so awful, and I tried to do this, and I just, like, literally have no choice but to get sober. This last time when I got sober 2.5 years ago, it was like, I woke up on my own one day and was like, no bullshit. Like, I am so done with this life. Like, I cannot do this anymore. I'm so done. And it was just like a different done than even that time where I went to Dad's house. Like, it's like waking up and just being like, I'm like really done. Like, and I'm not going to rehab done. Like, I'm done, and I'm going to withdraw off of all this alcohol on my own. Like,
Which is
because
dangerous.
it's dangerous. But
So, you
I had
should've-
just been to the hospital like 2 weeks before. So it's like going back. I guess I could have, but, you know, what did that do 2 weeks before? It was just a completely different ballgame.
But I think most medical professionals, I think all medical, and now
oh,
you
absolutely,
being,
go to the hospital.
yeah, would say, go get
Alcohol.
help to withdraw
Don't do it on
under
your
medical
own.
supervision.
Yeah, alcohol withdrawals are the most deadly.
I'm going to talk more about that with you because we mentioned that in a previous episode, and I wanted to
Yeah.
see what it was like for you more physically when you were going through that under medical care. So this last time, okay, let me back up. I'm getting ahead of myself. What threw you back into your addictive
After
habits?
4 years?
After you stayed sober for so long, and then how
my
did you
God.
feel when you relapsed?
That's what it was. It was the fact that it was a long time coming. Like, that's where I go, the aftercare. That's how I got dove into that. And I know I talked a lot about that, but I feel like it's not pressed enough. So I'm going to press it a lot more in these episodes. But I felt like it was a buildup of not going to therapy regularly,
Okay.
not going to see a psychiatrist regularly. Like, yes, I would go get the same refills on the same meds that I wanted to take, not that what the doctors were like, hey, we think you need to take this, this, and this. It's like, well, I'm just going to take this, and then just whatever the rest of your meds you want me on. So it was like not taking that stuff seriously, and a buildup of that after a long period of time. I finally had a psychotic break in 2021 after the pandemic, and I think it was a mix of that buildup of not getting the help I needed, and I think it was also going through something so traumatic like the pandemic. Just like, I think everybody was in a weird spot. So I think I'm not surprised that I ended up having a actual psychotic break, but it wasn't until like 9 months of me just like spiraling sober that I finally relapsed. And it was honestly, it was like I had become a shell of myself in that 9 months of going through such a horrible scenario sober, that like by the time I relapsed, it was almost like I alleviated like the amount of stress and pain I'd been in for 9 months mentally.
You're white knuckling.
Yeah, I'm like I'm past white knuckling. Like I'm like hanging on by my pinky like for 9 months onto sobriety. And it was like, it never really came to mind of like, oh, I'm gonna drink to like just drown this out. It was like the cycle of where I went on my journey in those 9 months of like going from just like acting super manic to then like being very depressed and sleeping all day and sleeping all night, like, you know, doing all these different things, not eating normally. Like there's just all of these things that like built up to one night I'm out. I haven't been out in a long time. I went out with a friend from work here. I moved back home for 6 months, and I was just like, yeah, you know, maybe I'm not an alcoholic. Maybe one won't hurt, and maybe I'll be able to drink like normal. Like I haven't tried for 4 years. So I think being able to be like, oh, whatever, let's just see. And I mean, as much as I regret that I did it, I don't want to say that I regret it though. Like I as much as the hurt and the pain and the stress that it caused, it also brought me out of something that's so horrible with my mental health that nothing else was bringing me out of. Like they diagnosed me with this and this, they prescribed me this and this, and nothing was working to get me out of this spiral that I was in, like this hurricane of like just a complete downward spiral with my mental health. And it's like the only thing that brought me out of it. It wasn't for 4 or 5 months, because I was relapsing for 4 or 5 months, and even then I wasn't 100, but I was brought back to reality when I finally got sober. I felt like as reality is like not completely reality where I'm at now, but like I wasn't spiraling and losing my mind like I had for almost a year.
How you think for months you fought the urge to turn back to alcohol?
I don't even know if I fought the urge to even, like, there was no fighting. I never felt like it wasn't until that one night out with a coworker where I was like, oh, I don't know, maybe I'll drink, like, because we were out at the bar, and I was just like, oh, you know, it's been 4 years, like, I haven't drank, and I wonder if, like, I'm sure I'm not actually an alcoholic, like,
you were rationalizing?
I'm thinking I can control it just like everyone else does, like, oh, I can just do it once, or I can do it like every weekend and it'll be fine, or not drink as much as, and it was like one beer, and then it's like, then I was right back to it. It was immediate. I was like right back to drinking, like from the first one. It wasn't like, oh, have 1 or 2 beers at the bar and like we'll call it a night. It's like, and mind you, I still had to go work the night shift after this, so it was like 4 beers at the bar, and then it was, you know, drink downtown, or drink or 2 downtown, and then it was a beer at my friend's house and a beer to go. Like, it was absolutely just right out the gate. Like, it wasn't like, oh, 2 beers and then tomorrow maybe I'll have 4 beers, and then it was immediately right back to the beginning.
Explain what triggers in your mind. Do you give yourself permission to do it? Do you rationalize it? Can you not help yourself?
You can't help yourself. There's no stopping it. It's just like when we talked about, like, when you want something, like they'll tell you, like, you have no excuse not to hustle, because when you were a drug addict, you went on hand and foot, and you would crawl across the desert to get a drink of alcohol.
When you say you don't mean me.
Me, you, people, crackheads.
Okay.
Crackheads don't say
Yeah.
when the day's hard, like, oh, that sucks, I can't do crack today. They go and figure it out.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
It's there's a science behind addicts, and like the way that they are able to just like make that decision, and it's just off to the races. It's like it's the same thing.
So
Your mind can't help it. You don't have a choice.
and you're just
Your
all
choice
in.
is gone. Yeah, like it's like when we talked about last episode.
It's so controlling.
Yeah, we talked about in the first one.
I know.
Is the driving, and it's like, as much as you want to like be like, oh, I wouldn't do that. It's like, but you would if you were out of alcohol / drugs or whatever you're addicted
Right.
to. Like you would do that though, you know.
Right.
So
It's that powerful.
yeah, you're not like, oh, I guess I just won't drink today. Like I guess I won't drink the rest of the night. No, you're gonna walk. Like you'll figure it out.
What happened in that time that you were drinking again? Like, is there? Well, you'd already
God.
burned off your eyelashes.
No, that
20
was
years
oh,
ago.
That was a year. I
Years
was like,
earlier.
that wasn't that time.
We'd already
I don't
gotten
really
let go from
remember.
the job that.
I don't remember.
Was there anything from that time that you thought, I need to stop again? I need to stop again.
I mean, other than like the obvious of like drinking and upsetting my
feeling.
family and like feeling like shit and like all these things of like losing 4 years sober, there wasn't really anything like substantial that happened that made me feel like, oh yeah,
Another big sign from the
I gotta
universe.
stop. Or I think, yeah, you know what it was? It was the sign that I had to get the hell out of Utah, and I had to hightail it as far away from here as I could, because if I didn't, I wouldn't get sober. And like, it was staying in the Motel 6 and going to the hospital.
Okay, so this relapse is a time when you were living with me.
Yeah, I was living with you.
Okay. And I do remember this part. I don't remember all of it, every single moment, because again, it's
Yeah,
like,
well, I mean,
do we want to go down that road
I mean,
tonight? Today?
about
This episode? About
no.
what? You want to save it for another episode?
Yeah, I think so.
I think we should. That should be just
That's gonna be its own
an
episode.
all packaged up in and of itself, because there is
There's a lot to unload there.
The onion is huge, and the layers just peeling.
But yeah,
back,
probably my Motel 6 day, or
which was
I was
after I said no more.
yeah, you said no more, and there's boundaries and no more enabling, and we love that. I teach about enabling and versus support in my classes and
Can you
groups.
shed some light on that right now?
Yeah, enabling.
Yeah.
Oh.
because I'm probably.
Oh,
Let's see if
so-
I'm guilty of it.
Oh no, like I mean, yes, in some ways of like, oh yeah, you can stay here. Okay, it's one thing to say, hey, you can come. I want you to come live with me. Okay, but then when I drink once, it's like, you gotta go, right? But instead being like, no, it's okay, you can stay, and then I do it again, and you're like, no, it's okay, you can stay, just don't do it again, or you gotta leave. Like, that's at some point enabling, like providing money, like anything that's like helping somebody continue to be in their addiction. Now, if I came to you and I was like I did with Dad 10 years ago, or 9 years ago, and I was like, Dad, I really need to get help. Like, I really need you to take me to the hospital. That's support. Like, that's support. As long as there's no ulterior motives from me, but like, how are you gonna know that? And just take me to the hospital. You know what I mean? I need to go to rehab. Like, will you help me find a rehab? That's support. Enabling is like feeding into that person's addiction and their toxic behaviors and just allowing them to continue to do it. We maybe one day can unpack that we know someone very similar that did that her whole life. So
Right.
maybe one day we can get into that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think being enabled.
Yeah.
So
Just constantly giving a hall pass.
yeah, and I wouldn't say you guys really did either one, because it was like when I wasn't really, I mean, maybe let me stay like one out of too many times, but that was that time, and then I'm out and I'm at a Motel 6.
We'll talk more about that down the road.
So ghetto.
Talk about the time that you woke up again and said, "This is it," and it's different this time, and this is it.
Mom,
And
that's a whole episode.
can you just give us a little taste, and then we'll
Yeah.
save it.
Yeah. I just had I was drinking again in Florida.
Where you were living.
Where I was living in my own place. I've been drinking for about 6 months. And I don't know, I was in an Airbnb with some random girl that I had met that flew to Florida to hang out with me, and I woke up the next day after drinking all Friday night, and it was Saturday morning, and I woke up, I felt so awful. I had like traumatized this poor girl, because I was like, not in like a scary way, like we're best friends now, but like for real, but like it was just too much, like so much drinking. I was like falling on my back on the sidewalk at the bar. Like, we go to this bar, I invite another girl to come to this bar to meet us that I was also talking to. Just like insane. And then she realized that I had brought someone else there, and that was like a whole thing. So we leave, and by now I'm like probably 10 more drinks in, and I fall flat on my back before the Uber comes. The Uber's like, "I'm not taking this girl." And my friend's like, please, we don't have a choice. Like, we're in fucking Hollywood, Florida. We gotta get down to Miami. Like, we gotta get down to South Beach. This is, like, we don't have a choice.
So it's like spilling over into all these.
Oh my God, there's so many things happening. And I'm like,
not only self-sabotaging, but you're sabotaging everything that's going on.
Oh my
God, a lot of the things that are going on around you.
Yeah, and we get home, and I wake up the next day, and I was like, so that was a night, like, and she's like distraught, like crying, because the girl also really liked me at the time. So like the fact I just invite, and that's what I mean by traumatized, I like invite some other girl that I've been also talking to, you know, it's just like, what a shitty person. And I was just like, wow, I am a piece, I literally remember saying this, I am a piece of shit. Like, I am never drinking again. And I just remember we stayed in the Airbnb all day, did not leave. We ordered in Cheesecake Factory. We just talked for like, that girl saved my life. Like, we talked all day, all night. We ended up going to the beach the next day and at least her trip was kind of fun. She ended up flying back to help me move out of the house I was living in and move into a sober living for a month so I could stabilize. And after that, I mean, the rest is history. Like,
you didn't go back.
I never drank again. Never drank again. I was like, I'm seriously done. And I think breaking somebody who was seriously like one of the most genuine people I've ever met. Like, she's one of my good friends to this day. And I think, you know, if she wasn't there, that may have never happened. And, you know, breaking someone who was so genuine and seeing that, like, right in front of me, I was like, wow, like, I'm actually growing a heart because I feel like a piece of shit this time. Like, I feel really awful about the person that I have become, that alcohol has made me, that I've transformed into because of it. Like, I hate myself, and that was it. That was done. But yeah, shout out to Shelby. She's probably watching this, so.
Thanks, Shelby.
Yeah, she's awesome. So, yeah. Anyways.
Should we wrap it up?
Yeah, I think that was a lot.
And it is a lot. It's every time it's.
I gave him the whole. You tell me to give him part of the story, and I give him the whole story easily.
No, but you didn't talk about the part where.
Oh, I just talked about the logistics of it, I guess.
I was driving around in my pajamas looking.
Oh
for you.
no, we didn't tell that. We're not telling that yet. We will tell it next time. Maybe
next time.
Tune in. So you want to hear the drama.
that was my no more enabling moment. We'll talk about it next time.
Thank you.